Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. If you are in a place, we'd love to see your beautiful and our handsome faces. Would definitely love. This is participatory and would love questions during the in the chat box and at the end. We're here to serve, and we are so excited to talk about this today. So, system busy isn't scalable. Well, today we're going to talk about how high performing agents, ops pros, unwilling or unknowingly, unintentionally sabotage their growth, and the simple mindset shifts that it takes to unlock the secrets to sustain your business. Because it's like fun and butterfly and roses every day out there right now, right? Yeah, let's be real. So before we go into the intros and whatnot, let's go to the next slide and do our compliance committee. You are talking to the systems people here. So feel free to take a screenshot, and full disclosure, we do everything in a TCPA compliant way. Always cross-reference to do not call list. We're not attorneys, financial planners, CPAs, and if you have questions, ask your designated broker. They're there to help. So without further ado, again, welcome. I am Nicole Zuber. I am a MAPS executive coach and also your KW operations community leader. I've been in this industry for 21 years. It's crazy to say. And I have weathered a bunch of different markets. So the buyer's market that many of y'all are experiencing, been there, and completely different time than it is a couple of years ago, right? And today I reside out of Austin, Texas, and really close to the mothership. And a little fun fact about me is our 22-year-old just got his real estate license and is a fourth generation realtor here in Austin as well. So, Lauren, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. My name is Lauren Garner. I am the co-founder and CEO of Top Operations powered by Level 8 platform. I'm also the director of operations for the Huffaker Group of Keller Williams Realty, and we are based here in Nashville, Tennessee, and have multiple locations across the state. And also, I am a proud member of the KW operations community. I have been in the industry for a little over 11 years now and have had the pleasure of wearing every hat from front desk receptionist to all the way to director of operations. So I am so looking forward to being with you guys here today and to share a little bit about building scalable systems.
Awesome. Well, so before we go in, I do want you guys to, in the chat box, I want to hear where you're from and what role are you? Are you an agent? Are you an administrator? Are you an wear the hat all thingers? Whatever you do. Where are you from and what's your role? Just out of curiosity, I do want to see who's in our audience today. Lauren, is the chat box working? There we go. Look
Vancouver.
at All right, Canada in the house. We've gone international, y'all. Central Florida, we got agents, ops. All right, welcome.
Lexington, Kentucky, not too far from me. Go Cats.
All right, cool. Well, that is great. So it's time. So system busy is not scalable. So today we're going to uncover the three blind spots that are stealing your time, energy, and quite frankly, your referrals. So we are so glad that you're here. If you're whether you're a team leader, an ops pro, or an agent running at full speed and wondering why it still feels like you're behind, this conversation is for you today. You're not lazy, you're not disorganized, and you're definitely not bad at ops. You're just probably operating off of memory instead of a system. And that comes at a cost. It costs your time, your team, your referrals, and quite frankly, your sanity. Lauren, does this sound familiar?
Well, absolutely. I have totally been there. I was running a growing real estate business with a team that I loved but I was glued to my phone. I was making every decision, answering every question, solving every problem, and it still didn't feel like enough. I slowly began to realize that it wasn't my effort that was broken, it was my infrastructure.
So, to give you a little bit of a backstory, Lauren and I have been in a coaching relationship for five plus years, about 5 years, and we have built businesses together. We've survived multiple market shifts, supported and like bringing her in with me on webinars and having her as panelist. We've been able to support hundreds of agents and ops leaders grow through burnout, reinvention, and scale. So, we're going to bring two different perspectives to the table. I specialize in sales systems, leadership, and mindset. And Lauren will bring her back end brilliance and ops integration, process, and scale. So, together, we've definitely seen firsthand when talented people stay stuck in systems busy instead of systematized. And we built season of systems specifically for you. Lauren, tell us what we can expect today.
Sure thing. So, this isn't a webinar where we're going to throw templates at you. We're going to shine a floodlight on what's silently breaking your business behind the scenes. We're going to walk you through 3 blind spots that are quietly costing you time, energy, and referrals, and the mindset shifts that unlock real scalability. If you feel like you're doing everything right, but still drowning in tasks, we're going to show you why. And more importantly, what to do about it. So, Nicole, let's dive in.
All right. Well, we're not the only ones on the screen, I'm sure, who have ever felt that way, Lauren. So let's let's go into the first blind spot. And y'all write this down. So repeating routines does not equal a system. That's a it could be a myth. I'd rather call a fact. So if you feel structured, you've got your routines dialed in, your morning checklist, your Monday meetings, your lead follow-up time block. But that's great. Let me ask you something. If that infrastructure lives in your head or in between your ears, as I like to say, or even on your calendar, is it actually a system? Here's the truth. So just because you're repeating something, that doesn't mean that it's systematized. It might be a habit, might be subconscious behavior. But if your business depends on you remembering what to do, if your operations hinges on when you are there and available at all times, that's not a system. We call that a bandwidth leak. So let me ask you a question. Maybe consider this a quick test. So just imagine with me, think of where you want to go on vacation, like your favorite place, just anywhere. This is your dream, your life, your rules here. So think of where you want to go. And I passed you a ticket today for a first class trip there tomorrow. Don't freak out about your luggage and all the clothes that you need to pack and whatnot, and your color coded organizers. Imagine you get a go. Would your business keep running at the same level if you were to just pick up and peace out, as I like to call it? Would your leads be followed up with? Would your listings still get launched? Would your clients still feel taken care of? If not, that's a sign that your routines are not repeatable without you. In fact, we call that you are the system. The system is not the system. So here's a myth to unbust right now. High performers actually love structure. If you're a college athlete or have been a professional athlete or been around them, they thrive and survive on structure. But structure is only helpful when it's transferable. Your calendar can't train a new hire, and your CRM is not a brain, nor do you want it to be, folks. Your memory doesn't scale. It's the truth. So in The Shift, that book written by Gary and fabulous Jay Papasan, we talk about that systems create independence. And this is what we'll call executive independence. When your business can operate without constant executive intervention, read between those lines, constant executive intervention, that's where you get that. And so a real system, and you'll want to write this down, is, all puns intended, written down, lives where your team can access it, probably even read it, has clear ownership, and produces consistent results regardless who's running it. We're not going to get caught up in personality and stuff like if it's a real system built out, somebody needs a cover for you for a 2-week emergency or a trip to Tahiti or wherever you put in your brain. That's the definition of a system. So here's an example. Let's say you always check the MLS for comps before pricing a listing. Great. And if it sits longer than 2 weeks, 30 days, et cetera, I trust you're doing that often, especially in this market. But what happens when you're out of the office? Does everyone else know how you think about it? In the shift book, we call that the art and the science of pricing in this case. Do they know how you think about it and why you select the particular comps that you select? Do they know where you pull them from and what factors weigh in and how you present it? If not, your routine becomes a risk. And quite frankly, and I see this over and over in coaching, the consequence of that is you plateau, you burn out, probably more than anything, and you become the gatekeeper of everything. So what's the biggest risk is, and I see this in coaching, and let us take note from those who have failed ahead of you, is you start to resent your business because it needs you too much. So inside the season of systems, we will help you make those routines and turn them into true infrastructure. Not just templates, not just checklists, but a real system that runs when you're not there. Because your business should support your life and not the other way around. So here's a challenge for you. I want you to pick one thing that you do regularly, maybe without even thinking about it. Ask yourself, you do it really well. What do you pride yourself on? Now, is it documented? Is it delegated? And can someone else do it at the same quality, even when you're offline in Tahiti on the 2-week trip that coach sent you on? So if you answered no, the good news is that's where we're going to start. So Lauren, take it away.
Wow, Nicole, I feel like you're speaking directly to me with that first blind spot. But blind spot number two, we're going to talk about delegation without documentation. So let me guess, you've delegated, but your team still slacks you for the same info every single week. Hey, where's that lockbox code? Did we ever send that email to the client? Can you remind me again what the next step is after photos? Does that sound familiar? Here's the truth.
Never. Sorry.
Here's the truth. If you're still the backup plan, you haven't truly delegated. You've assigned a task, but you haven't systematized a process. Let's break that down. Assigning is saying, hey, can you order the sign install? But delegating is saying, here's how we handle every listing from docs to photos to MLS, and here's where to find it, even if I'm not here. Assigning is one time, delegating is scalable. When you delegate without documentation, you stay in the weeds. Your team gets confused. The client experience, the most important thing here, gets inconsistent, and you become the bottleneck. Even worse, your business can't run without you. You can't go to Tahiti tomorrow, which means you don't own a business, you own a job. Freedom doesn't come from hiring more people, it comes from infrastructure. When your team has a map, they don't need a manager, they just need momentum. So here's how to fix it. We're going to start real small and simple. Simple. Number one, we're going to document. We're going to write it down. Even messy is better than memory. I call it a brain dump. Open up a Google Word document and just start brain dumping your process. Number two, store it where the team can find it. Is that in your Google Drive, your CRM, Notion, Trello, whatever system you're using, whatever's in your tech stack, centralize it. Number three, train. You're going to train. You're going to walk them through it once. You're going to walk the team through it. And then 4, you're going to trust. You're going to get out of the way. You're going to let them work through the problem. And pro tip, like I said, take your brain dump system and throw it into Chat GPT and say, write a system or an SOP and standardized operating practice, and have it write your whole process for you. So on my team, we've been drowning in listing questions. Like Nicole mentioned earlier, in this market, our listing business is where we've been drowning. So we created a simple listing launch checklist, step by step, who owns what, when it's due, and where to find it. We linked it in our CRM and we trained our admins on it. Within 1 week, our Slack questions cut in half. No more, hey, what do I do next? Everyone knows what their role is and what's expected of them. So here's your challenge. What's one thing your team asks you about every single week or every single day? Write it down, put it in a shared doc, and send it out to your team. That one move might save you 10 interruptions next week. Like Nicole mentioned, inside the season of systems, we don't just tell you to delegate. We help you build the documentation and infrastructure to actually get you out of the day-to-day. Because if you're still the backup plan, you're still the bottleneck. And let's change that together. So that takes us into our third blind spot, client experience that isn't repeatable.
Yes. And before we go there, Lauren, I love what you said. So, like those 4 easy steps: document, centralize, train, and trust. I mean, let's be real. You even said walk them through it once. Who's been walked through what's really expected of them? 0, and still doing it. It happens out there. So, I mean, it's to some of you, like this is real life and challenges that we see out in the field, out in the trenches. So those 4 simple steps, and then pop it into Chat GPT on what you did, and yeah, we'll go from there. And remember, we're not with your AI and always TCPA compliant, and always just make sure you're covering your bases when it comes to that. So going back to blind spot number 3, last blind spot. This is so important. The client experience that isn't repeatable. Whew. So let's be real. You probably deliver a heck of a great service. Your clients love you. You go above and beyond for them because you care. But here's the question: is that service consistent? Is it documented, and is it branded? Or is it just great when you remember to send the update or happen to be in the zone, which is all caused by feeling?
Exactly. And we've all had those moments. You're juggling 5 listings, a dozen conversations, and then it hits you. Did you ever send that under contract email, or worse, at 2 a.m.? Um, or a client text, hey, just checking in, haven't heard anything in a while. Ugh, the sting you feel. And that's the moment your client experience broke. And here's the thing, even if the work is getting done behind the scenes, silence feels like neglect.
Guilty feeling. Ick. Said nobody at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we are not advocating for that by any means here. So, I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning, that like service also, like having a great service doesn't mean that it is a system. So it isn't. How do I want to say this? So, like, amazing service isn't what happens when things are calm. It's actually what happens when your hair's on fire. If you ever understood or know why a pilot is there, they're on cruise control 99% of the time, right? Those pilots are there in the cockpit for when things go south because they have a system and a model that they're following. So it's what happens automatically when your hair's on fire. So if your client experience depends on your memory, your mood, or your personal bandwidth, it's not a system, it's a liability.
Exactly. When your experience is systematized, Your buyers and sellers know exactly what to expect next. They know when to expect it, and they know who owns each step. That kind of clarity builds trust, and trust turns into reviews, referrals, and repeat business.
How much easier is it to get a referral, just silver platter to you, then follow up on a web subscription that, by the way, I don't call a lead because they're also registered on 85 other platforms. Think about it. It matters. It's important. And you don't want to forget that when it comes to reviews and the referrals, your future clients are watching. So every touch point is a preview, and it's also a preview of how you run your business. So when your client experience is messy or reactive, your referrals dry up by default. And what does that say on your review sheet? But when it's branded, consistent, and smooth, people talk about it because they will send people to you. A systematized client experience is actually a lead generation strategy. Don't tell your conscious mind that.
And this doesn't mean that you need a complicated drip campaign or a fancy tech stack. It can start with a simple checklist. What emails get sent? When do they go out? Who sends them? And what do they say? Then you brand it, then you automate it.
Yeah. And that's inside the season of systems. We're going to walk you through how to build this from scratch if needed. Now you're not going to start. We'll give you some places to start here, but we don't want to just create processes. We want to help you create experiences that scale because your brand should feel high touch, even if your calendar's maxed out because it's being followed.
If your client experience only works when you are operating at 100%, it's not a system, it's a sprint, or like Nicole said earlier, a liability.
Yeah, and you can't scale a sprint.
Absolutely not.
So let's talk a second and acknowledge something that's important. You've already done the hard part. You built a business, you're part of a business. You showed up, you serve people, you make it work through the market shifts, the burnouts, all the fun stuff that we're all dealing with together, the chaos, the growth. And now it's time for you to build the system that protects what you've built. Would you like that? It's time to build the system that protects what you've built.
I love that. If your business still runs on duct tape, memory, and late night catch up, that's not sustainable and it's definitely not scalable. Systems aren't about making things rigid, they're about making success repeatable. You deserve a business that runs smoothly, even when life doesn't.
So, why don't you tell us about the season of systems, what we can plug into, Lauren?
Yeah. So the season of systems is your plug and play roadmap to clean up the back end of your business so you can focus on the front end growth. Inside, you'll get done for you templates, weekly live coaching and system building sessions, real world tech walkthroughs, and real time accountability because no one succeeds alone. This isn't theory, it's implementation and integration.
So, Lauren, how can these guys move forward if they're interested?
So the doors are open right now, and I believe that we've put that there are links in the chat, and you're going to want to scan the QR code here on the screen. We also have a very special code for you today. Use Web15 for 15% off your registration.
Hey, so our first live session starts August 21st from 2:30 to 3:30 Central Time. It is a 12-week live course, and it will get you out of the chaos and into some scaled action. So if you're tired of rebuilding and reinventing the wheel every time you hire or enter into a market shift or enter a listing for that matter, every time you hit a new level of growth, let's build something that scales with you. So you don't need to work harder. What do you need, Lauren?
You need better systems.
Yeah, that wasn't a trick question. And that's exactly why we're here to build with you.
Absolutely. We're excited. Let's
Well,
go.
let's go. So we would love for you all to join us. And if you have any questions, we are here to answer them. We could stick around for a few minutes. I know Sue had asked if you're still on here to talk more about the centralizing steps. You want us to give us a little more context on that? Because if Sue is still here, and Lauren, that was back when we were talking about your Google Drive, Notion, CRM, wherever
Yeah.
you store where your team can find
Hmm.
what you do really well.
Yeah. Um, is Sue still on here?
I think so.
I will just say for me, from how I read that, is centralizing. So for our team in particular, we have a centralized intranet. We've just built out. We kind of realized that our Google Drive was getting really inundated with just it was very unorganized. We were throwing everything in there, but nobody could find what they needed. And so we built our team portal, as we call it, just through a Google site. And that is where our team can go to find anything and everything that they need. We always joke that I need a shirt that says it's on the portal because that's where it's going to be if someone's asking a question. But yeah, so that would be my advice or my advice or feedback on the centralizing your and documenting your processes.
I don't know how or why, even before AI. Like everything from even how I wanted my when I was a career mom, and I have a 22-year-old and a 19-year-old now. So when my kids were littles, I even documented how I wanted my clothes folded from the people that I had helping me at home. And
Yeah.
so there's something to be said about it. I know that's kind of a one-off example, but yeah, how that shows up is like you buy your time back in such an amazing way. Uh, my kids went when they were little, they went to Montessori school, if y'all are familiar with that curriculum. And like the big rule there was like once they get it, you don't have to do it for them again. And so I think I just carried that over, and we'll see how it shows up with our 22-year-old fourth generation realtor. He just booked a listing appointment, y'all, today too. I got a text message. Poor kid. He has coaches who are parents, parents who are coaches. So awesome. All right. Well, we want to honor your time. It was such a pleasure spending some of your afternoon with y'all. You know how to find us. We so hope that you join us on this journey and stay safe out there. We'll talk to you soon.